Welcome to today's video, and in today's video I'm going to talk about perspective. And as you could probably guess from the thumbnail of this video, a lot of that's going to be pertaining to my perspective about serving in the military, specifically serving in the war in Afghanistan during Operation Enduring Freedom, and how my perspective on that has changed over the years, especially with everything that's happened since the war ended and all of that. But this is going to be a new series of videos that I'm going to do, and I'm going to call them Mental Mondays, and it's just going to be where I share a little bit of tidbit of information with you about mental fortitude, those kind of things. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you subscribe and like the video. Give me some comments down below if you have any thoughts on future topics you might want me to discuss. But perspective. So much of our life isn't necessarily the things that happen to us, but rather our thoughts that surround those things that happen to us. I was fortunate enough to be a leader in the United States Army. I got to serve on 2 different deployments to Afghanistan and get to lead great soldiers and do all of those things. It was really like my dream growing up that I was able to do and able to accomplish, and I was extremely fortunate to have gotten to do it. I really believed in what I was doing. I believed in serving in the United States Army. I believed I was doing great things for our country. I felt like I was doing great things for the people of Afghanistan, and my heart was really set on the mission that we had over there. And I just really wanted to do the best job I could for not only the soldiers that I was afforded the ability to lead, but also for the people of Afghanistan. But then, as we all know, life goes on. I got out of the military, and after the military, as many do, I really struggled to find my purpose again, because while you're in the military, like, your purpose is driven, you're mission driven, you feel like you're serving the greater good, you're doing this thing that is honorable, and you go from that to working a regular job where you have hourly employees that really don't give 2 hoots about what they're doing. They just want to do the minimum amount of work and take home a paycheck, and they don't really care about what they're doing. And that's a huge mindset shift for a leader, for somebody that's been in the military, and it's extremely hard, and that's why so many veterans struggle trying to find their place whenever they get out of the military. But eventually I've been able to get into a job that I extremely enjoy and I feel extremely purpose driven about, and I feel like God has blessed me with that. After many different things that I've tried, I'm finally in something that I really enjoy. But I will say that, on the perspective side of things, whenever the United States pulled out of Afghanistan and all of that debacle, I don't want to talk about the politics of that, but basically, the group that we had been fighting the whole time just took over the country in the matter of hours, days, and it's like, the first thought in my mind was everything that we did was for nothing. All of my friends, all the people I knew that we lost over there, that they were able to breathe their last breaths alive on this earth in Afghanistan, and a lot of them ended up coming back with either injuries or coming back in a body bag, that all of that was for nothing. And it hit me hard deep in my soul, because I was like, I'd gone from being something that I was so proud about that I got to serve over there, to that moment really shifting my perspective on the whole situation. But sometimes all we need is a simple shift in our thinking to change how we perceive something in our life. So I decided to read a book by Viktor Frankl. It's called Man's Search for Meaning, and it's a great book. I'm going to link it down in the comments below, whether you want to get the audiobook or the actual paper copy. But it's a book written by Viktor Frankl, and he spent time in a concentration camp during World War II, and he talks about how his perspective of things changed and how he was able to make it through the worst situation really imaginable and make it through it. So I definitely recommend reading it, but I want to read a quote from him. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we change ourselves. So really a lot of our perspective on life is up to us. And so we really have to decide what feelings we feel around the events that happen in our lives, and it's up to us to really change that. It's funny how sometimes you'll see two people that go through the same thing and they both come out of it in completely different paths with completely different perspectives about what happened, and it just goes to show you what a difference that can make. And one of the key differences for me was the fact that I got involved in church, and not really just specifically just going to church, but I got involved in a men's small group, and that was a game changer for me, because getting to be in a group of strong Christian men, share our feelings in an open, in an open group, give each other feedback, give each other support. It's something that a lot of men really don't experience in this day and age. And as they say, iron sharpens iron, and it was great for me to get in such a good group of guys. And really, it's probably the first time since I had gotten out of the military that I've developed really close male friends, because oftentimes we get caught up in the busyness of the world and we forget that we are meant and we were designed by God to live in community. So that leads me to this verse in the Bible, and this is Proverbs 3 verses 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. A lot of times our perspective about things really needs to be rooted in faith, and having my life rooted in faith has really changed how I look at things overall. We don't often understand when bad things happen to us, or things happen that we really don't understand, but what I found is God always finds a way to use that in your life. So just like the Bible says in Romans 8 verse 28, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. So just remember that a lot of times the thoughts that we have in our head around a situation are actually more important than the things that happen to us. And I would recommend, if you don't have some good people of faith that have your common values around you, go seek them out, get a good community around you, and live the best life that you can.